Good morning, Pumas. My name is Tammy Wolf, and I'm an 8th grade English teacher here at Preston. Today on our Literacy Wednesday, I'm going to teach you about a during reading strategy called annotation. But before I do, I want to talk about why during reading strategies even help. So the reasons that you want to use a strategy while you're reading is, the first one is, it will assist you in understanding while you read. So as you're reading something, you can make meaning while you read instead of reading something and trying to make meaning afterwards. The other reason that during reading strategies help is because they'll help you stay engaged in the reading. Yep, sometimes it's hard for everyone to read. So these will help you stay engaged. The during reading strategy that we're going to learn today is annotation. Annotation is to help you retain information, maybe have a discussion afterwards, or maybe even help you write about the piece that you just read. So, what is annotation? Well, it's highlighting and marking your thinking, but then also writing about your thinking in the margin. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that today. And did you know that staying engaged during reading is hard for everyone? It's true. Even your teachers, even adults, can have a hard time staying engaged if they're not interested in the reading. But annotation can help you stay engaged and help you make meaning of what you are reading. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you how to be engaged and use the annotation strategy with a real life example from a Facebook post. So first I'm going to ask myself, what's my reading purpose? Why am I reading this? Then I'm going to make sure while I'm reading, I highlight the main ideas, that I make comments in the margin, that I circle unknown words as I read because maybe I want to know more about what the word means or maybe I don't know the word at all. And I'm going to try to underline the author's main points. So I'm going to show you in this video how to do this. You're welcome to click here for the Facebook post or just keep watching. Okay. So here's the Facebook post, and I have it here underneath my dot cam. And let's just remember the few things that we're going to do. While we're reading, we're going to make it super simple. I've got my favorite color of highlighter, and it's green. And remember, I'm going to highlight what I think are the main ideas. I am going to go ahead and underline the author's main points, which those two things might seem like they're two in the same, and I'll show you the difference between them. I'm going to circle unknown words or words that I want to know more about, and I'm going to go ahead and mark my thinking in the margins. But first, since this is a short piece, I'm going to read it all the way through, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do my annotation, which is highlighting, underlining, and circling. So here we go. I'm going to read this to us first. I am just an old retired teacher who knows not of certain things. Admittedly, this old school relic may have lost touch with your generation. I don't understand the idea of influencers, YouTubers, TikTokers, or the various other things that now consume your time and capture your interest. But I'm writing today to present a new challenge to you because I think some of the old school lessons would do us all some good right about now. So here is what I would love to see your next TikTok school challenge. Be a good and kind human being. How about you make that go viral? What say we get 1 million views of you doing something decent and humane and simply beautiful? Because here's what I do know. It takes much more courage and strength to be a loving, caring person than it does to vandalize a bathroom. It takes bravery to go sit with the new kid. It takes strength to stand up for the kid being picked on. It takes fearlessness to genuinely thank your teacher at the end of class. It takes grit and audacity to help the substitute teacher feel welcomed. I know. None of that is likely to make you trendy or part of the crowd or a viral sensation. But maybe it's time to buck the trend, to set yourself apart from the crowd, to quietly go about the business of influencing a single life for the better. I suspect this letter will not find its way to very many of you. I am not likely a candidate to go viral. And should you read it, it may not impact you at all. Perhaps you'll simply roll your eyes and shrug this off as an old man on your way to something more glittery. Or maybe, just maybe, I'll hear about the students who decided that they were stronger, braver, and knew better than how to lower themselves to a challenge that sets out to damage property and hurt others. If you are that student, know that I look forward to seeing you and hearing how you accept my challenge. And although I know it may not mean that much, you will have gained a new fan, a new follower, a new subscriber. With respect, hope, and love, an old teacher. #be kind. Okay, so let's go back to what we need to be doing. There's an idea here about, we're going to highlight this idea of main ideas. And there's a very subtle difference between main ideas and author's main points. Sometimes the main ideas is just simply, what is this about? But the author's main points might be how they're trying to persuade you. Sometimes that doesn't exist at all. Maybe an article isn't written about persuasion. And then we're also going to circle unknown words. Once I do that, I'm going to write in the margins. So let's go ahead and watch me engage in this piece with all three, my highlighter and underlining the author's main points. Okay, so I think the main idea overall in this is that he's trying to tell us that instead of being a trendy TikToker who is going to vandalize a bathroom or make somebody feel bad because it's viral on TikTok, that it's much braver and it's actually scarier to go against the crowd and go against the flow. So I'm going to go back through here and notice what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to highlight what the main idea of this whole thing is about. So let's go ahead and let's try to find. Okay, so I think that the main idea of this whole thing that I would like to highlight is right here where he says, so here's what I would love to see your next TikTok school challenge. Be a good and kind human being. So I think that's the main idea. The reason I think it's the main idea is because all the rest of this seems to be supporting details about what the author is trying to tell us, the author's main points. But the main idea overall is what is highlighted here in green. The author gives us a whole bunch of things to think about. He gives us ideas to talk about bravery. And he talks about that it's much more courage and strength to be a loving, caring person than it is to vandalize a bathroom. Oh, hold on, Puma. Okay, what else the author is trying to use as part of their argument is that it takes more courage, strength, loving person than it does to vandalize a bathroom. It takes bravery to sit with the new kid. It takes fearlessness to genuinely thank your teacher at the end of class. It takes grit and audacity. Ooh, this is where maybe I'm going to circle this. Pretty sure I know what audacity means, but I want to make sure I know of the context here. And then he talks about, I know, probably no one's going to listen to me, and I'm an old person, and blah, 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 blah. But maybe, just maybe, there are students that are going to read this and decide that they are actually stronger, braver, and knew better than to stoop lower than what TikTok is asking them to do. So when I am done with this, I've got what I think is a main idea. And maybe there are other main ideas in here too, and that's okay. When you read a longer piece, there might be several main ideas, and the rest are sort of these supporting details or the author's main points. And remember that you're going to circle unknown words, but we're not done yet, because annotation isn't just marking up the pages, it's about writing your thinking in the margin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write my thinking in the margin. So because I think this is the main idea, I'm going to summarize just a little bit, and I'm going to write about how this is the main idea. This is the main idea is to not be trendy. See how I went ahead and like reworded what I thought the main idea might be in my own mind? And then all of this right here, I'm doing a technique called chunking, taking this whole section and I'm putting a bracket around it. And I'm going to go like this with the chunk that I just found. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write what this is about. These are the supporting details from the author. And don't forget, I'm going to look up what audacity means so that I've got a better understanding. So now, if the teacher were to say, all right, class, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about what do you think is the main idea, or what are the main ideas of this? And then what are the supporting details, or what is part of the author's argument? You would be able to go back to your reading and say, the main idea is this, and I know this because the author wrote this, 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 and this. So you would use what's highlighted to be the main part or thing that the reading is about, and then all this other stuff would be that supporting evidence that you might use. Okay, so now what we need to do is let's go ahead and let's try it. Let's try this strategy with your own annotations. You get to pick one of these two to do this with. You can use this informational article. It's about mindset, like growth mindset, and how using growth mindset will make you inevitably a better student. It's from Newsy LA. And then the next article is about candy corn, and it's from the New York Times. And it talks about how candy corn is actually coated with like bug guts. And it's super gross. But it's kind of fascinating. It talks about the history of candy corn. When you read, remember that you're going to be annotating. You're going to be highlighting the main ideas. You're going to be underlining the supporting details, or what the author, maybe what their argument is, pro or against. And then you might want to circle or maybe highlight in a different color if you're not doing this on paper. You're going to go ahead and highlight what words are unclear or that you want to know more about. And don't forget to go ahead and comment in the margins. Okay, before my video comes to a close, I want to show you really quickly how in Google Classroom you can do the things that I just talked about. So it's very easy. When you want to highlight, you go ahead and you mark this, you highlight this, and you go here to this little highlighter pen, and that's when you can highlight it, all right? Then, when you want to comment on something, you highlight the part you want to comment for, you go up here to this little commenting box, or here, and then, see, you can add your comment here. Click comment. And so then you can go back and see your summary or your thinking about what you thought were the most important parts, or the supporting details, or what you think is the author's main points to support the argument. Happy annotating. Have a good Literacy Wednesday. Bye.